बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। आज का टॉपिक हमारा the cost of production पे है. We'll start with the name of Allah al-Hadi, which means that the one who giveth hidayat. Um The cost of production, chapter 13 from Mankey book. We already have discussed that if we need to start a business, we need some kind of inputs. And we have discussed in the class that at least we need labor, capital, and raw material to start any business. So these will affect your decisions. This we have discussed already that the what is the production function, what is the relationship of marginal product and how they are related with each other. Production function is the relationship between input and output, and marginal product is will tell you about that if you change input with 1 unit, how much it will create the change in your output. See, फिर इसके बाद हमने discuss किया था various costs, how they are related to each other. Some of the costs we've discussed in the class, and some will be discussed right now of today. In the how are then the next thing is how are costs different in the short run versus long run. Then what are the economies of scales? These will be the discussion we will be discussing later on. So the question arise, what is the goal of uh, a businessman? A businessman look to increase their profit. This is the goal of your any firm or anyone who start a business. So we can calculate our profit um, with the help of revenue and cost. We will increase our revenue and try to minimize our cost, so the difference will be more and we can get more profit. So this is how we can calculate our cost. In economics we have two types of cost. This is all the revision part, right? We will start our proper class after revision. So this is the revision part: explicit cost and implicit cost, where we will see that all the cost which is outlay of money, which can be seen and which can be calculated by the accountant, which are explicit cost. Implicit cost are the opportunity cost. It is actually the cost you for the opportunity foregone, like owner's time and etc. This come arises from the principle of the cost of something, what you give up to get it. See, because of this implicit cost, to understand more about the implicit cost, we discussed the study where we have discussed case number one, case number two, where in case number one you borrow all the amount of the money, you borrow it from the bank, and on which you could give the interest. Or in the case number two, you use some of the saving and some money you will borrow, and we will see how this costs are divided, right? We've discussed in the class in detail. Now we are moving on the difference of accounting profit and economic profit. There's a difference between accounting and economic profit because of the cost calculation. Economic profit consider implicit cost, which means that it will give you a smaller profit, whereas accountant give you higher profit than economic profit, right? ये हमने डिस्कस कर लिया प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन, दिस रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन इनपुट एंड आउटपुट. और हमने ग्राफ बनाया था where we can see that increase with the decreasing rate, and this slope is called marginal product of labor. The formula is delta Q over delta L. Delta Q is the change in quantity, delta is the change in input. So this is how you can calculate with the help of two numbers. If you will having a five numbers of your instructions or input or output, you will get a less one less number when you calculate an MPL, right? Five numbers mean you will get four figures of MPL, right? So one number is missing because we are taking the difference of two. We have done in the class and practice in detail. This is the slope of production function, right? You all know that how we will calculate it, rise over on change in your y-axis divided by change in your x-axis. So you can get your MPL, and it is decreasing, diminishing. Why decreasing? Because we are keeping other factors constant, ceteris paribus condition. So we increasing only one input, and it will not increase your output if you increase only rely only on one input, right? So this is the reason why it diminish. We calculated because of the importance. Why MPL is important, because it is related to the cost we have to pay to our worker, or anything we are taking into account, or output. It also affect your output, right? So this is there is a law which tells you the diminishing marginal product, marginal product and input decline as the quantity of the input increases, other thing remains constant, right? So we also discussed that a farmer example of a farmer which has to pay $1,000 per month for a land, and ये उसकी क्या हो गई रेंट विच इज़ अ फिक्स कॉस्ट, एंड ही हैज़ सम वर्कर्स, वो जो के एम्प्लॉय करेगा और हर मंथ उसको 2,000 पे करेगा. तो मेक श्योर दीज नंबर आर इन योर माइंड व्हेन यू calculating your total cost. So let's assume उसने number of workers increase किए 0 से 5 तक. So every worker will charge 2,000. So the number of worker will be multiplied by the wage rate, which is 2,000. 1 multiplied by 2,000, 2 multiplied by 2,000, 3 multiplied by 2,000, 4 multiplied by 2,000, 5 multiplied by 2,000. So you can get the cost of labor. And here cost of labor, land will remain constant no matter if you're producing or not producing, you have to pay the rent. So this is how you can calculate your total cost when you combine the cost of labor and cost of land. 1,000 plus 2,000, which is equals to 3,000, when you are producing nothing, which means you have 0 bushels of wheat and there is no worker, still you have to pay the rent, which is consider the total cost of your product, right? 1,000, which is fixed cost, right? Fixed cost 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 9,000, 11,000, which is the combination of your, cost of land and cost of labor, right? Now we are moving toward the slope, and the what figure of total cost, which is upper sloping. It's increase with increasing rate. बहुत इसका जो है वो increase हो रहा है, decrease नहीं हो रहा. जैसे output बढ़ेगा cost बढ़ेगी. This is the formula of marginal cost. It means if you increase 1 unit of output, how much your cost will be changed. This is how you can calculate your marginal cost. Change in total cost divided by change in output. Change in total cost. So start with the number one figure, 1,000 minus 0, and 3,000 minus 1,000. Total cost will be in your numerator and quantity will be in the denominator, right? So we are taking the difference. We are not taking the absolute value here. Only we are not taking 1,000. We are taking the difference of 1,000 minus 0. So similarly, when you go down, you can have different two values, 1,800 minus 1,000 and 5,000 minus 3,000, right? So you can get 2.5 number. And similarly, if you take go down, you will find different numbers and you will figure it out. You can see the concept and the rate here. Marginal cost is not decreasing, marginal cost is increasing as you increase your output. So the marginal cost rise when you increase your output. This is how marginal costs look like. If you draw in on your graph, make sure you are taking the quantity on your x-axis and marginal cost on your y-axis. Every cost, whatever we are discussing in this chapter, any cost will be on your y-axis, and quantity will be in on your x-axis, right? So lastly, we discuss the total cost. We take the total cost on your y-axis and quantity again on the on your x-axis. So the thing is why we MC is important, because cost is very important. Every marginal decision matters to our to the I mean employer. They will think that if we take the an additional input or not because of the cost, and cost will affect your profit. This is why the margin cost I mean important. Now we are discussing the fixed cost and the total cost. I'll take a break, and we will discuss in another, I mean, the next